Hello, community. My name is UltimatDjz. What's up? Welcome to the Talking Trek Podcast, here with another teaching Trek video. Before we get started today on our content, I would like to ask you, it'd be a super huge favor. I would really super duper appreciate if you'd click on that little subscribe button, and then it's going to give you a bell notifier. That way you know when we do new content. You know when things come out. And then you would know today that there are 2 videos for you to view. So which one do we watch first? Well, don't worry. We're going to cross-tease them both, okay? Leave your comments in the section below the video. We'll answer those questions as we go along and really appreciate that. Thank you so much for supporting the Talking Trek channel. Now, we're getting ready to get into a video here right now about to burn or not to burn. The Return the Burn campaign has been taking the Discord by storm, but what actually is it that you're fighting over, okay? We've got 2 different camps here, those in favor of returning the Real to burn and those who don't want it. But why is it that they want that? What are the facts related to these 2 different communities that decide what is actually going to happen in the game and what camp do you belong in? Why do people want burning and why do others not want it? We're going to investigate that in a non-biased, factual display of information and let you get a little bit of insight into what's actually going on across the aisle. But right across our aisle, right here in this very same YouTube channel, there's another video, because as this discussion has occurred, we have realized that a lot of players need a little bit of extra information about what burning is and what it actually does. So be sure to check out our other video on just what is burning. We're going to tell you all about it. And no, it's not something that happens, in Vegas. We're going to tell you about it in our YouTube video right across the aisle. Go check that one out when you're done with this one. So let's get into it right here, an excerpt from our podcast the other night. This is a clipped down version of some of the stuff we talked about. You are hearing in recorded form some of the excerpts from the Talking Trek podcast the other night. Let's get into it. All right. The number 1 complaint from the general community, all right, and I mean players from the official Discord, I mean players on my Discord, I mean players in, server 15, okay, and I talked to several different servers, okay. The general population, by the way, I took ops levels for everybody. There was a pretty clear differentiation, Gregor, as I'm sure you can imagine, okay. 39 and down said that they had their number 1 complaint was that Georgiou didn't burn G4 ships. Okay? That's a fact. That's a fact. Under the new mechanic, burning, not Georgiou, FYI, burning will no longer take 1% of the hull from a G4 ship if you don't survive. Now, hang on a second. There were a few. Listen, nothing's ever 100%, okay? There were several, okay? By my count, and again, percentages are going to be tough because I only interviewed 75 people, all right? And I think probably close to 35 or close to 40 of them probably were from various high-level Discords, okay? Because, listen, this was perceived in the community, and I even said this to Scopely. All right, Gregor, I said it to you. This is being perceived by the community as a gesture towards the VIPs. Okay? And I don't think that's unfair to say. Gregor, if you were looking at this abstractly, okay, from the outside looking in, you didn't have a G4 ship, you don't even know what's going on. If you look, the move looks to be a nod towards the VIPs. That was even it was even my first gut reaction. That this was created, that this was modified, so the G4 players were not taking 1% hull damage from a Rialta, from a G1 ship, from something that was completely free, that cost you 8 par steel to repair.
I think they even came out and said that, didn't they?
What?
I thought Old Man made a post about that. That was never an intended effect.
That it was. He said that it was never an intended effect. There's a point to this. Okay, I agree. When the community says, listen, there is no way I can kill a G4 ship. No way. I can't kill a G4 ship. This was my only means of defense. Okay? This was the only thing that I could do, particularly in territory capture. All right? And by the way, even though the mechanic has been this way for 2 years, and I agree, wham, it totally has been. All right?
it has become super prevalent in the last 60 days. All right? Because, A, you lifted PvP banning in territory. And this is why I say Scopely messed with the wrong thing, okay? Scopely has the possibility of fixing something that didn't need to be fixed, or at least not the mechanic that needed to be fixed. Okay? So now let me go back, okay? Because everybody that I talked to, this is the data. This is the complaint from the general community. The complaint was we needed a way to fight back. This was our opportunity to actually fight whales, regardless of whether or not it took 400, 600, or 1,000 hits. They were using what they referred to as the swarm mentality, all right, to defeat a G4 ship. And by the way, it's not fast, okay? It takes a tremendous amount of time, patience, and energy. You're sitting there for 45 minutes to do it, all right? Me personally, I don't got the time or the patience for that. All right? I've never done it. I have literally never killed a G4 ship with a Rialta. I know some of you have. All right? But that requires one of two things. A, it requires the G4 ship to be unattended. It requires the G4 ship to be quote-unquote idle or floating. All right? And in that regard, VIPs, I'm sorry, I don't have sympathy for you. In that scenario. If that was the scenario, but it wasn't always. That's not the only scenario. Okay. The other scenario is specifically what we just talked about, has been becoming a mechanic in the last 60 days, is territory capture. So in a territory capture, a G4 player flies into your territory, and what does he do to try to swing or slow you down or delay your alliance, whatever? He can sit on a node. He can keep you from getting ships or keep you from getting points. Now, in that case, he's in the game. He's online. He's there. He's sitting on that node. Okay. And also, FYI, he's choosing to sit on that node. So again, you know that, and again, I know I'm taking this, this objectivity first, Gregor. I know that you want to comment, but from the general community, the G4 player flew his ship knowingly and with full knowledge of what it's going to cost and sat on that node and blocked that alliance from getting points. Now, that alliance has nothing they can do. They can't take that ship out. They can't kill that ship. So they're just going to sit there and they're going to hammer it. Boom, 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 nat. Okay? Rialta. Burning. By the way, GG doesn't even proc 100% of the time. So 400, 500 shots may become 700 shots. They just keep hammering that G4 ship. Hammer. Okay? Causing damage at the rate of 1% per hit. The bear kind of sums it up. Death by a million cut. I interviewed, and by the way, so before we finish this, I'm also going to comment that PvE is a very real thing for a very specific purpose, but Wham is exactly right. All right. This particular burning mechanic has documentation back to March of 19 or February of 19. All right. When Rev produced a video on how to compete against separatists. And by the way, this mechanic was forced upon players back in February of 19, because at that time, literally 5% of the community, maybe 10% of the community, was actually able to kill a separatist. Burning was the only way to get through with the separatist. It was the only way to do it. If you were a small enough player and you couldn't kill it, all right, then what you had to do, and this is in Rev's documented video, you loaded up a burning crew, which, by the way, back then had a terrible proc rate, and you loaded it up on a Fortunate. And by the way, that was cheap, okay? But it took for freaking ever. And it was an established mechanic then. And the reason that we say it was established is because there was no conditional statement that said you had to survive to the second round. So you could take a Rialta. You could take a Rialta with burning, and you still got your 1%. And by the way, because of the mechanic of the event, the separatist shields were impossible to get through. This is why burning worked, okay? Because it was 1% to hull. And those ships were massive at the time, okay? And the milestones weren't truthfully that crazy. You just couldn't get through the shields because the ships were too damn big, all right? So the 1% burn meant everything to a younger player because it was direct, straight hull damage. And you got points, by the way, for damage. Here's the piece, okay? So yes, I agree. PvE, established mechanic, necessary, still today, necessary for younger level players. Because believe it or not, there are some ops level 20, 22s, 23s that still can't kill separatists. And I get that. Okay? I get that. And this is a mechanic that now has been taken away from you. I get that. I get that. All right? For those of you who want to have your only opportunity to fight back against a G4 player, I get that. I totally get that. FYI, my own alliance uses this. My own alliance uses this mechanic. Now, community, hear me when I say this. This is a super big thing. VIPs, hear me on this. And I know it's not popular from your side of the aisle, but hear me. Players need the lottery hope, okay? You don't go out and buy lottery tickets because there's a 0% chance that you're going to win. You buy the lottery ticket because they have a 0.0000000 repeating 1% chance of winning the lottery. So, VIPs, and by the way, FYI community, I made progress here. I made progress with this argument. G3 players need hope. I'm going to tell you right now, community, you would be shocked at the response I got. Rex, you were a part of the conversation. The response that I got from the VIP community is that they welcome the chance. They welcome the battle. They welcome the fight. They welcome the PvP. But hold on, okay? They want you to have a chance to fight them. They love the swarm mechanic. Hear me when I say, folks, they like the swarm mechanic. They are intrigued by the idea of taking on multiple ships at the same time. Scopely, are you hearing me? You've got VIPs actually telling you they're intrigued by the idea of allowing G3 players to engage in PvP armadas. You are your VIP community is inviting you to develop a mechanic for the G3 players to actually have a chance, albeit a small one, but a chance at battling a G4 player. And the G4 players are saying, bring it on. Bring it on. But we got one thing to do first. I ran this test. I ran this test, okay? And my goal, I loaded Pike, Moreau, Giorgio, because that's what you guys are running. Pike, Moreau, Giorgio. And I did this with foe. I started with my smallest ship, and I continued up the scale until I found a ship that would go 2 rounds. All right? Anybody want to guess? The Augur was the only one. The Enterprise, by the way. Oh, no. Sorry, Dirty Bird. Not a Sally. No. Not a Sally. The Augur did it because of the whole.
Definitely not a Sally.
Definitely not a Sally. By the way, it wasn't even the Enterprise, okay? Wasn't even the Enterprise. Even with morale, okay? So, by the way, I used the Enterprise, right, foe? I used the Enterprise with Pike, Moreau, Giorgio, okay? And it didn't do it. And then I thought, well, hell, I'm going to try with my full PvP crew, okay? I tried with my full PvP crew. Still didn't make it to second round. I took one of the biggest ships on my server, and I wanted to see, right, foe? I wanted to cost you titanium. I wanted to burn your ship 1% at a time because all I wanted to do was cost you money. I know I can't beat you, so I might as well cost you, right? Isn't that what people say? Isn't that what people say?
That is.
Okay.
That is what they say.
That's what they say,
normal
yeah.
community. Isn't that what people say? You say, listen, if I can't beat him, I might as well cost him, right? Can't beat him, might as well cost him. A full repair of your 24 million tier 10 Newton, a full repair, fully destroyed. Give me the number.
Almost 600 million.
600 million titanium. 600 freaking million titanium. We looked at your packs at 50. By the way, I looked at Gregor's packs at 49. I looked at packs at 46. Thank you, Rex, for the data you provided. All right, we looked at packs all the way across the board, 40 plus. And folks, now I'm going to tell you, all right, and before anybody goes with this, okay, and Wham, I appreciate your perspective. You say it's not a big deal, folks. I'm going to tell you why it is. All right, and now I've given you all the reasons. I'm going to segue right here. I've given you all the reasons why I believe G3 players should have burning.
Commercial break.
No, not doing it. No. Hang on, VIPs. Don't think that I've forgotten your points. All right, I did G3 first. Yes, community, I'm going out on official record and saying that the official burning, that I am a fan of Return the Burn. I am officially on that side. Return the burn. Okay? The burning mechanic should be reverted to what it was before so that you have an opportunity, not necessarily to cost them a ton of money, but you got an opportunity to kill them, which is what it's about. If you are doing it just to dip into Foe's wallet, if you're doing it just to dip into Rex's wallet, if you're doing it just to dip into Gregor's wallet, maybe fine. I get it. I don't like that, okay? Shame on you. That's not nice. Okay? I know I sound silly. That's not nice. Okay? If that's why you're doing it, fine, so be it. I don't think that's the reason that burn should be returned. Okay? The reason that I think burning should be returned is so that players have an opportunity to fight. Guys, I'm going to give you some ridiculous math. This is going to blow your mind. So for those of you who think 600 million tried is not a big deal, all right, let's do some math. I'm an Ops 39, folks. Right now, in my $100 pack in the store is an Ops 39. I get 440 million tritanium. 440 million tritanium. All right. For comparison, Foe, as an Ops 50, you get 8 billion tritanium. Correct? 8 billion
Correct.
Tritanium. Now, that sounds like a lot. All the community players, all the G3 players are like, oh my God, he gets so much. He can afford to repair his ship. Guys, let's dig on. Let's dig on. Okay? By the way, 440 million in my store. For me to fully repair, yes, Zach, 8 billion, but hang on. All right? You think your mind's blown now? Hang on a second. Big Country says LMAO because he knows where I'm going. Because, by the way, he was one that I talked to. He knows. Okay? 8 billion tritanium. That sounds like a lot. Let's go for it. It cost me approximately 350,000 tritanium to repair my Enterprise. Fully destroyed. My Enterprise is tier 7. All right? I am a decently powerful player on my server. I'm a 39. I got a tier 7 Enterprise. It's pretty stout. All right? It can kill a lot of people. It can be killed by a lot of people. It gets killed multiple times a day, but I do some damage. Okay? I got a strong Enterprise. 360-some thousand tritanium to repair. If you put that in terms, Gregor, of what it cost, by the way, just for the tritanium in this pack, the tritanium in the pack, it cost me 12 cents. 12 cents. You guys put this in your memory banks here, or write it down. 12 cents. It cost me to repair, 12 cents for me to repair my auger. My auger takes more trit. It takes 560,000. Okay? The Enterprise is only 9 cents. An Enterprise, 9 cents to repair. Every time it blows up, ching ching, Scopely just made 9 cents. Every time my auger dies, ching ching, 12 cents. Okay? You guys think that doesn't add up, but it does. Folks, I want you to know that every time Foe's ship needs to be fully destroyed, as compared to my 9 cents or my 12 cents, Foe is paying $6.25. By the way, the ratio, the cost comparison in ratio form is 52 to 1. 52 to 1. Guys, every time you repair your ship, G3 players, it costs a G4 owner 52 times as much to repair their ship. And by the way, this is in comparative math, comparative economics. I took the trite in their pack, divided it out by the repair cost. Okay? So you can't use, they can afford it. They get so much more trite. So yeah, guys, think about this. Your G3 Epic costs you 9 cents to repair. Your G1 Rialta costs Foe 8 cents to repair. This is a very polarizing subject, but people are distracted, Wham, just like you were distracted. It's not about the burn. Scopely altered a mechanic, albeit intentionally or unintentionally, to distract from the larger issue, okay? It might not have been intentional. I'm not saying that they did it on purpose. I'm saying they missed the mark. They missed the problem. They missed the underlying issue why VIPs have a complaint. And by the way, it's a freaking valid complaint. And yes, I'm telling the entire community that there is two different sides to this. And by the way, you're both freaking right. I don't have anybody's back on this. Okay? Well, let me rephrase. I got everybody's back on this. Everybody. G3, G4. Okay? Rialtas. Giorgio. Burning. Okay? I believe in all of it. I even believe in the G4's ability to fly the ships of which they paid. Guys, this is like buying a Lamborghini, and then for them, gas is $28 a gallon. But you can go buy the exact same gas, and it's $1.99. You can pull up to the same damn pump. But Gregor, because your car costs more than mine, your gas is $28 a gallon and mine's $1.99. And by the way, that's not even an accurate comparison. If my gas is $1.99, yours is $104 a gallon. Okay? That's the comparison, people. If you pay $2 a gallon for gasoline, Foe is paying $104 a gallon. So, before you get all pissed off at your G4 players, think about that. What do you think, community? I'd like to get your feedback, so leave your comments in the section below. Like this video, and be sure to click on the subscribe button. Click the little bell notifier, too, to be notified of future content that's coming your way. That way you are always in the know. My name is UltimatDjz. This has been another Teaching Trek video. We'll see you next time. Love you, mean it. Bye-bye.